Yep, I'll just... There we go. Looks like we're live now. For whatever reason, getting the stream up and going was a little sluggish. I don't know why. Maybe internet connection or something. I don't know, but before we do anything, I'm just gonna, share the stream link to a bunch of servers that might want to come and see us. It's a pretty standard list of the usual ones. Would be great if we had some more servers to work with, but it is what it is. Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. Doesn't it feel good coming out of a day 9 to 5 job, at least if you're in my time zone, and seeing a Streletsy stream right away? Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, right? Yeah, I think so. But I'm the streamer, so it's whatever it is, basically. We're gonna have a good day today. I'm really looking forward to some of the games that we're doing, that I have on the roster.
Hey, hello.
Our special guest is here, or you're an arm. Actually, not a guest. At this point, you're probably just as much of a member as I am, because you're here so often.
Yeah.
So how was your day today?
Yeah, it was solid, as to say.
Oh, that's all right. Definitely better to be on the bear side of things for sure. Just sending out the stream link to all the Discord servers that I send content to, so they're aware of us. So we don't feel like we're alone when we're streaming. There might be someone there with us.
Yeah, but still, there is already 4 people.
Oh wow, impressive. We already got a pretty good following. Just gotta finish this list of link sending, and we'll see if we get a nice coalition of forces here to join us in our pursuit of doing good game castings today.
Yeah.
Moving through with lightning speed right now, so hopefully I'll be at the end of the list pretty soon. Let's put the link there, I think. This one. I think I got them all. I think with 99.99% certainty that I got them all, so I think we're good in terms of advertising the stream for now. So I guess we'll take a few seconds to welcome everybody in and see how everyone's doing today. So how does it feel to be coming off of work, depending on what your time zone is, and seeing a Streletsy stream right off the bat for you? Must be pretty good, nice,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's already 11 p.m. for me. It's already night for me, so.
Yep, for you it's a late night party. That's always fun.
Yeah, and that's the reason I can't be too loud, because everybody's sleeping, so.
Yep. Yeah, why watch late night shows in Serbia when you can watch my stream instead? It's just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
Yep, and what's the timer say? It says we're about 7 minutos in, so I'll give us about 3 more minutes to wait before we do our first casting, I think. That'll give me some time to download some of the recordings that HV and I sent us to look at. We got a pretty good selection today, so I'm looking forward to it for sure. A lot of deathmatch stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Got about 7 ones for now to work with. They might not all work. They might out of sync, and if they do, we got even more recordings up above. So it's like running water. We have recordings on top of recordings on top of recordings. Doesn't mean that we don't need more recordings, because if we have more recordings, we could technically do this stuff like 7 times a week, maybe. Who knows? If we had that much.
yeah.
Alright. We just make sure that they're here.
So a few more minutes and then we start.
Yep. Looks like everything is here. A lot of death matches, you can see. We even got one on the survival map. Have you ever played the survival map before?
Yes.
It's a pretty exciting experience from what I know, because in like normal Supremacy, you don't have any trees, no animals, nothing. Just your good old home city to bail you out, and you have to be really smart about how you play. But in Deathmatch, you got 20k resources to burn, so I mean, what happens then? Do you just have to be really careful to get your mills and estates up in time, or how does that go, you think?
So you do have to build estates and mills, because if you are out of resources, then it's lost.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a really beginner deathmatch player that's actually done DM on that map and actually forgot to do that, and they had like 0 of each resource and had to resign not instantaneously upon doing that.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Not funny for the team if it's ranked, but if it's unranked, I guess it is funny.
So do we start now, or?
Yep, just checking one thing to make sure we're 100% good. Yep, we're good. I think we should be able to keep proceeding. Alright. So, let's go from top to bottom, I guess. We'll start with the 1v1 Outlaws Sweden. That sounds pretty fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, mercenaries for Sweden and Germany are just very, very nice.
And they're going up against another Outlaws, if it looks like the Mexicans. So, should be a lot of coin-costing Outlaws popping out here for sure. And also a pretty interesting trade route pattern on this map. It seems like it's all at the top pretty much, with the Zen native sites on it. So that should make things pretty interesting. Alright, let's begin this and see where it goes from here. Starting out with the church. You need that wonderful church to get your mercantilism going. You need to get houses going. You need to get production buildings going. You know, deathmatch isn't for the slow and feeble. It's for the fast and lightning fast, basically. Because if you don't do it...
Fast and Furious.
Yep, exactly. Fast and Furious. That's right. Fast barracks, fast houses, fast stables, fast everything. But
Yeah, man.
nothing as fast as the church. You gotta get the church down first. If you don't do that, you will forever be lost.
Minutemen as well, to protect you early.
Yeah, why not harass your enemy with these quick spawning units, you know, that shoot down? That's always a good idea.
Yeah.
So
immediately mercantilism and spies. Mexico just building spies.
Spies versus Ronin. Very interesting. Wait a second. Outlaws don't have the mercenary tag. Are they immune to spies?
I don't think they are.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have the mercenary tag, and I don't see an outlaw multiplier directly here, so I mean...
Oh.
Yeah, I think he doesn't know, he doesn't realize that, because I remember in Arena trying to fight a bunch of outlaws with, spies, and I got completely cooked doing that, and I remember, oh, so outlaws really aren't, mercenaries then, because they don't have the mercenary tag.
Yeah, so now this Ron is just cutting banditos into pieces.
And he already resigned because he realized what he did was absolutely a monstrosity. And at home, he's already getting roasted by Ronin in his own base. I mean, this was probably one of the quickest Age of Empires games in history, less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and also he just walked his banditos into enemy base. And
he did micro those well at all and kind of left them very bare boned and vulnerable too. Notice that. How not to play deathmatch, I guess, against Sweden.
Yeah, so I mean Sweden is very, very good save because of that dull color pikemen and stuff like that. So they are a nice save for that match, definitely.
Oh yeah, the pike's super cheap. You know, you can mass up a bunch of them and they're going to be a long-term threat that you can keep posing on the field, as opposed to some of these more expensive things that, you know, you're going to burn through quicker and it's going to force you to macro more for doing.
Yeah, we didn't even see the decks or anything. We just went in and...
Yeah, I mean, you probably didn't even matter what the decks were at that point. It was like an instant defeat. Like, oh yeah, just spam a bunch of outlaws and win. Maybe send the dance hall card, but you know, that's about it.
Yeah, so we had a quick game.
I mean, it was almost sure enough to put on YouTube Shorts, I think. That's how small it was, practically.
Yeah, definitely.
As compared to the stuff we're usually used to that can go like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes 2-3 hours. I've seen games that went, I think 4 to 5 to 6 hours long before. I've seen 6-hour AoE3 games, I think, if I recall back to the old days.
Yeah, when I get to like an hour and 10 minutes, I surrender. I can't go on anymore.
Yeah, I can hold out for 6 hours if needed. It's rarely ever required, but if you need to do it, you need to do it.
Like I had 2v2s that just 2 hours and I can't go anymore.
Yeah, I know
My
people like that.
Hurting.
Yeah, I think MCMR said that to me before. He was like, you know, I don't know how you can perform a 4-hour free-for-all and still be on top of the whole match and pushing people. You literally defeat people based on their exhaustion alone. Not even strategy, just they're getting exhausted, you're still pumping at them. And how do you even pull that off?
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Just like somebody has to do something in their home, or something is urgent and they have to go, and you lose a game because of that.
There was an exception to that in Age of Empires 2. There was that Age of Empires 2 1v1 that went on for, what was it, 1 to 2 days, right? And people actually went to the bathroom, they ate dinner, they went out on a date and stuff, and came back to the PC and it was still going on because everybody burned through all the gold, stone, and wood on the map and everything, and they were slowly losing out food for their farms. It was an absolute mess.
That's funny.
Yeah, you should check it on YouTube at some point. I believe T90 covered it. It was a really interesting one.
I have to look at it.
Yeah, looks like right here we got a Germany, a Sweden, and a British teamed up against a France, a Mexico, and a Hod. What do you think in this situation? Who has the upper hand?
I mean, it differentiates of strategies, but I think red team like France, Mexico, and how it can do a very very nice rush here. France doing some Hussar, semi-FF, Mexico revolting, and Haudenosaunee is just very very nice attack sieve and early aggression. So we are gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to seeing a lot of Native American gameplay in Deathmatch, so it's certainly going to be interesting for me to see how is this going to turn out in the end, pretty much.
Yeah, so I am a Haudenosaunee main, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Oh yeah, I'll certainly be on the lookout for that if I run into a confusion with them for sure.
So it seems Haudenosaunee is putting their Travois on water. That's a nice strategy, and that's like meta play nowadays. That you put, if you are on water map, you put your Travois on water and build a dock. That
Yeah.
seems like meta nowadays.
Oh yeah, most definitely, for sure. And something just occurred to me that this wasn't deathmatch. This is actually a supremacy game. I thought it was deathmatch at first until I
Yeah.
looked down at the resource. Like, oh geez, talking about deathmatch. This is a real 3 versus 3 here. So yeah, this is going to be a
Yeah,
pretty
so
spicy one for sure. I mean,
we have an Elia, Don Stove, and Weaver Kings playing together. I mean, this can be a nice FF build for all of them, because Germany in H3 gets a lot of free Ulans and has very very nice shipments. Plus Salah can go hack pellets and stuff like that, or even skirms. And Britain in H3 is very very good, one of the best FF builds ever.
oh yeah. I also feel like in this situation, if they play their cards right and defend well, they're going to have the stronger economy because you're looking at British with the manor boom, you're looking at Sweden with
Oh
the
yeah.
torp boom, and then you got Germany who can pull out mid to late game with a hard gather raid from their settler wagon. So if they all want to go
Yes.
high eco and defend and turtle it out a bit, they could probably go that route against the Hods and the Mexicans and the French if they really wanted to do that.
Yeah, so we see that Mexico and Germany going for starting TPs. Haudenosaunee player pumping out boats. That's, I mean, something very very standard. Um, and we may start to look at the decks just to see what's going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, let's take a look at those right now. So Sweden, we see blueberries, but we don't see the Engelberg ironworks here, which I'm pretty surprised by because doesn't that give you a really good coin gather rate from your torps? Why don't we have that here?
Yeah, I mean that's a late game card, and I am not sure it's treaty deck. I don't know why this is supremacy.
Yeah, I mean, you got the 700 wood, but beyond that, you're kind of bricked if you run into a pressure filled situation. I don't know what you're going to do there.
Yeah,
Unless he's feeling really,
maybe he
really
picked the
confident
wrong.
about his abilities, which he totally could be, you know. Because,
Yeah, maybe he just picked the wrong deck.
yeah, either that or he's trolling them because he thinks he can beat them no matter what. That could be the other possibility.
Yeah, it might be. So out of that, I only see Banks and Villager and 700 wood cards that are solid, and everything rest is like why?
Argentina revolt, so we already know what this Mexico is already doing from the deck name. They're going to be going with an
Oh
Argentina
wow!
rev.
Yeah, so they have cheaper revolt card. They are probably going to skip. They are probably going to revolt to Central America and then go just to H4 and then revolt again. I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely because you see they got Tlaloc support and everything, and yeah. I mean, Argentina is, I think, now a top revolution because of their San Stefano or San Stefan card.
oh yeah. I mean, I've done Argentina revolts with Spain before. They're a pretty brutal option you can use on your enemies. They just really cause a lot of damage when you least expect it. You know, you can have a good mid game, and then you can pull an Arg revolt out of your pocket, and it just really does a lot of damage to the opponent's armies and their base.
Yeah, and I am now on spot. I said that the best build for red team was Mexico doing a revolt. Mexico doing a revolt. Haudenosaunee building Tomahawk and France stable. So I guessed all of their build orders.
Yep. And Mexico went for the aggro option of Baja California instead of CA, like you were predicting
Yeah,
before.
But Baja California isn't a bad build at
Oh
all.
no,
I mean,
you can make a
it
lot of
seems
money
like
from it.
it seems like it's all out revolt, but you can go have a factory way earlier than anybody. Then you have that filibuster invasion card, which for every three filibusters you lost gives you another one filibuster for free. So I've seen some guys like against me as Haudenosaunee, they just print out filibusters and more of them you kill, more of them your opponent's going to get. So it's pretty sketchy.
Yeah, sketchy in a good way if you're the one playing as them.
Yeah. So we see Haudenosaunee going for a raid.
Yep, France is doing hussars just like you predicted. However, they are getting met by Swedish pikes, which is probably the last thing that they wanted to, and they got wiped out by them.
Yeah.
Yep, the last thing you want to
And
deal with really in that situation. Need you kings. Liars in trouble. Big trouble.
yeah, I mean, France lost all its hussars. That's a really, really bad trade because you lose around 10 hussars for 8 pike. They aren't worth the same, and that's pretty bad. So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, this attack by Red is just a really good assault overall, I think.
yeah, I mean, look, they have everything. They have insurgents, which are like pikemen unit, just a bit better. They have musketeers as filibusters and tomahawk. They have cavalry. Haudenosaunee is building Einas, so that's even like crossbowmen. unit, and I don't know really how Elia can defend that.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I like the fact that they have all sort of gone with the range unit comps at this point, or at least Mexico has the strong synergy with the filibusters and then the tomahawk, so that's a lot of range firepower that you're throwing at your enemies for sure, and it's good against their muskets, it's good against their pikes, it's good against any cab that they do. The only thing you would worry about, obviously, is mass skirmishers, right? And the only one that's capable of doing that at the time is Germany, because, they went for Fortress Age, so that's only like one
Yeah,
skirmisher threat you really have to deal with there. So I think going heavy
yeah, but
infantry mass is very solid, for sure.
yeah, and Mexico sent that card. What's it called? That the card whenever they kill an enemy,
Yep.
they get a coin and equal amount of kill XP.
Yep.
So that's a very very good card.
Yep, I gotta take a call. Can you keep them entertained for a few moments?
Yeah, definitely. So we currently see that pretty nice pressure from red team here. Don't Stove not looking that good. And game's paused. I didn't even realize. It's a few seconds late for me, so yeah. And looking at the game right now, it isn't looking too good for a British player, our Don Stove, as well as Baja California. It isn't looking too good, like score wise, but they have pretty dang good cards, so everything is possible right now.
Oh yeah,
France having a.
certainly. I'm
Oh,
back.
you are back.
Yeah, I just arrived back, so
Um,
we can. What did you tell them when I was, dealing with business?
yeah, just something about the situation currently and stuff. So nothing special.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like right now, Red is definitely in the preferred situation because of their strong, aggressive push so far.
Yeah, and even though like Mexico or Baja doesn't have that big of a score, they have some pretty good dang cards that they can send that can get their score up very very quickly.
Well, one that I think from Baja that keeps them going is, of course, Soldier of Fortune, because that means the more kills that you get, the more coin you're going to make back, which can be made into more filibusters or any of the other outlaws, and it
Yeah,
becomes
that
like
was
an
the thing
infinite
I was talking about
build.
earlier.
Yeah, certainly.
And I mean, also, I think if Germany tries to go for two Falconets, they can send that two Quaker gun and one Calverine shipment, Baja California. So that is pretty good. Also, Filibuster Invasion is a card that can get them going pretty dang good.
Yeah. Looks like Germany is going to try to
Also,
defend with the war wagon because they might be worried about Cav coming from France again, so they want to have a powerful ranged option that can deal with that as well.
yeah, but I mean, Germany is holding on pretty nice, holding off raids, but if we are talking about current situation, I don't think their composition of cavalry of hussar, uhlans and war wagons is the best here
Oh yeah,
because I think France is going to a jump in a minute or so, like very quickly.
yeah. I mean,
And France not microing their cavalry once again, losing a lot of hussars.
yeah, that's to the benefit of the blue team being able to defend here. I mean, if you got somebody that's flopping that much with an expensive unit like those are, I mean, it gives the blue team time to actually defend against the two other ones and push them back and come up with the proper counter assault.
Yeah, so again, Haudenosaunee not doing that great. They lost all their arenas to Uhlans, and I mean, it's now looking good for blue team because now you know that France has a good score, but uh, they can't use it, or what can I say? They aren't microing that well. And this team water deck for Haudenosaunee is questionable, as to say.
Most definitely. I mean, it's kind of weird because you see they have sustainable agriculture in there, but they also have fish market. Like, if you're going to be going full fishing, why do they need to have the farming as a backup option? Like, do they not feel confident about being able to hold on to water? Why are they, you know,
Yeah,
getting
that's
such a
exactly what I
mediocre
was
eco
talking
card?
about. And also that having 5 cards in age 1 is just not that great.
Yeah, he's got livestock in here. He's got livestock, farming, and fish. Every type of food economy you can get. Like, I was gonna say if he had like furry or spice tray in there, he'd literally have a card for every type of food in the game at that point in a separate
Yeah,
package.
what I think Haudenosaunee should do, they should try to be aggressive early, and later on they should try to just go into age 3 and pump out that Scrum Goon. So just build Masked Riders and uh, skirmishers. They have one of the best. Also, Haudenosaunee has one of the best skirmishers in the game.
Forest prowess.
I think, yeah. And also, if they can age up into age 4 and get those light cannons, I think they are at what they need. So, because light cannons, I feel, are one of the best artilleries in the game if you know how to micro, because they have 32 range. That's only 2 less than Calverines, and even though they have less range, they don't have unpack uh, motion, so they don't need to unpack at all, and they are pretty quick. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of find it funny that France keeps blundering by throwing their hussars into the pikemen, and what they do instead is not try to make artillery or anything, just make heavier cavalry that's even more expensive and just do the same thing again and lose that in the process. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I think Mexico fell off a bit here. Their bandidos did a very good job, but uh, France just having a very good economy, but still just going pure cuirassiers is just madness.
I mean, yeah, this is. I like their push at the start, but it feels like they sort of fell apart because of France throwing away their hand cav. You know, if it was like a cohesive force that stayed together and didn't burn through units, I feel like Mexico would have been able to propel
Yeah,
them to the win because Mexico was the one putting out the most units, I think, and doing the best micro of the three. And they just had
yeah,
teammates who were
definitely.
kind of not making good eco or military decisions for them.
Yeah, and also I think that the big problem here was also how Haudenosaunee just building Arenas and those Arenas dying to pure Uhlans, so they just weren't building right units for this type of battle and not microing them very well.
Oh, yeah.
So now Elia just raiding with pikemen and
Yeah, it's
yeah.
all that nice coin costing stuff and the man's winning with pikemen. That just shows you that Aaliyah probably thought I could win with the treaty deck, because this is what I was going to be dealing with. It's like he knew it ahead of time what was coming down the pipe, and he's like, you know what? I don't need a real deck. I'll just win with a treaty deck and pikeman, and I'll still win. And he was absolutely right, and he knows it too.
Yeah,
He's laughing in chat. He just saw it coming. Just
yeah, and also just Don Stove playing not that good this game at all. Just I don't know.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Don Stowe in Supremacy. He's a great deathmatch player, but I've never seen him in Supremacy, to my knowledge. So I don't even know why he's even here. Like, did Aaliyah take him for a special event or something? Like, what is he even doing here? This is not his element.
I don't know. So
Like,
he's
oh yeah,
is just dying to Mexico. So
it's helping Mexico get the coin that they need to keep making stuff. That at least something's going right for him today.
yeah, but I think Mexico was playing probably the best
Oh yeah,
because they did Baja California and they just put out the most units. They killed the most out of their whole team and they were going pretty good. And when France started to throw their heavy cavalry at
pikeman.
pikemen, that was the moment
Yeah,
everything crumbled.
it's like he knew what he was doing before kept making him lose, so he thought instead of changing what I'm doing, I'm just going to do the same thing again with more resources and see if it works. Which, yeah, just because you got splash attack and a little bit more HP and damage, I mean, you're not going to fix the situation that way. I mean, you got to learn when your attack plan isn't working, you need to change it on the fly, not just keep doing the same thing in a more expensive way, because then you're going to lose even more resources. Because imagine if this France went Dragoon, Skirmisher, or maybe some Falconets with some Helbs or something. That would have been a serious problem, and they could have maybe dealt with the pikes, and if he went skirms, he could have wiped out the war wagons. I mean, he just wasn't playing any useful part in bolstering his allies' issues in terms of army, basically.
Yeah, and it's already too late for Red Team. They might have the score, but not the army or TCs to do anything
Yep.
useful.
Good intentions, but it didn't work out in the end.
Yeah, and I'm just sorry for the Mexico player because he played very, very good, but now he has the lowest score and looks like he's the worst player, but he's definitely the best out of these all.
Well, yeah, give them. I have none. I was going to say if I don't have any. Yeah, alright. So I get the red. Okay. The sweet bread. Yeah, alright. Yeah, this is a total cleanup here at this point.
Yeah, this is just. And also look at the friends, the villagers in the middle of the map dying to the Alcalar pikemen. That's just. To no pikemen. That's awful.
I feel like, Leah was predicting this because maybe he's faced these opponents before or something. Like, you don't just do this out of nowhere unless you're doing a stunt for YouTube or something. Like, this is like
Yeah.
a Cinnamon Challenge sort of a thing. Like, just win with just pikemen in the treaty deck and see if you still survive, which, he got very lucky here if he was doing it as a pure gamble.
Yeah, and also these Polish hussars just looking pretty nice. They are one of my favorite units.
I like the
when
Winged
it comes
Hussars.
to
Excellent unit.
yeah. And they are history based, so That's even better.
Yeah, it's better than the old game where it was just a couple of hussars with their names changed to winged hussars, but no wings on them. Now they're the actual real thing.
Yeah. And they are very very good because 600 HP and that special attack plus area of damage. It isn't any joke. So yeah,
Yep. Total defeat for red team after army collapse, basically.
yeah,
But look at that Dawn Stowe score, though. It's like on the same par as the Hods are. Like, just, yeah, I don't know.
yeah. And I mean, this is just we were kings pulling out their whole team.
Whoa, wait a second. British actually had less resource output than the Hods did. How is that even possible? This is. They should be on the upper echelon of the resource count. How are they on the bottom of it?
I don't know. Just this game is no one understands anything. You just play and
Yeah, you just keep going with what you can do. And I mean, I guess 249 pikemen doing 84 kills and 3 sieges was what they needed to, do it, as well
yeah,
as
but
German Cav.
8,000, 8,000 resources difference. That's wow.
I mean, I'm pretty shocked Hod's got that many kills, 130. That's not bad. I mean, even though they weren't exactly grown in the way they were supposed to, they did get a pretty good ramp up of kills at the
Yeah.
start, I think, that propelled them.
And it now looks also that Don Stowe and this Baja California didn't do anything good during the whole game, but they
Yeah, I
did
mean, that's sort of
do
the
a
thing
lot.
with Baja California is they're like a tactical play for your team. They're not supposed to be the MVP doing all the kills. They're just supposed to get quick army on the field, take up the armies where you need them to, and help push in the siege.
Yeah, if Baja's teammates did something a bit more solid, it could have gone a bit better, but I mean, this isn't that good.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We got another outlaw game with Sweden, this time against the Russians, so I'm hoping this one doesn't end in less than 2 minutes this time. Cross your fingers, people. I think Russia, my Civ, the unstoppable Steletsy Civ, is going to definitely do better here than that Mexico did. I hope I'm right on that. It's this is the same map too, same map the other one was on. So I'm wondering how this one's going to turn out.
Yeah, I don't think Russia is that good at that match,
You
personally, but
you don't think so?
yeah, I mean, Russia doesn't have many OP units.
It's
If they do Outlaw, maybe.
yeah. I think they're
If they
great.
do Outlaws,
Oh yeah.
yeah, say what they, yeah, say.
Oh yeah. Basically, what I think is Russia is a good attack choice for deathmatch because they have the quick spawn rate of the infantry. They can burn those resources out really quickly and just pressure you very quickly with them. If they can get the fencing school and the dueling school right away and get a blockhouse out with some decent pop, that's enough to get them out on the field running a bit quicker than some of the other civs does.
Yeah, and that's also true, but I think if Russia also did those mercenary or outlaw build, and that they fought each other out, and Russia built a bunch of blockhouses, and then if they had Strelet Horde card, that they could be pretty good. Yeah, and did you ever see someone revolt at the start of the game immediately in that match?
Revolt at the start of the game in deathmatch?
Yes.
How do you do that? I thought you were locked into Industrial Age.
Oh, you are?
That, because I've never seen somebody go up to Imperial Age in a deathmatch, at least not in this game before. I always wonder, like, why they always start in post-Industrial Age.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you couldn't revolt, so...
Same strategy as last time, the Wokao Ronin spam out of the tavern instantaneously. Lots and lots of
yeah, but it seems
katanas.
Russia is also doing...
I think
Oh.
this is even worse than the Mexico one, because at least the Mexico attempted some sort of attack. Yep, this is the only thing I think Russia can do to try to resist, is just instantly get out these infantry and stuff. Does he have enough pop for it, though? Because he got his fencing out, he got his dueling out, so at least he can instantly pop things out for now. But is that going to last for long is the question.
I think Elia is trying to get a world record for AoE 3, the shortest game ever.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a little bit behind his last one on this one, but he seems to be cutting it in pretty close here. Yeah, this is the thing I'm scared about when you do this, is a lie, is the Russia can actually instantly train out a bunch of recruits that not only, have some okay hand armor, but they can shoot at the samurai that aren't, engaged in the melee with them. Even if they are not right up against an enemy, at least they can use their guns to tank out some HP from their enemies, when you're dealing with just, but at the same time, though, you're losing houses to the Ronin in the back that you can't even deal with, so this is a horrible situation for anyone that has to deal with it. Oh yeah, they took the TC down, so that... Is there any vills left here? He doesn't have villagers, so this is fatality. This is fatality right now. No vills, no town center. He got decapitated by Elia in a pretty insane way from those katanas. Very powerful.
Yeah, it's just over. And also, I won't go to that tournament tomorrow. So, because I'm a Serb living in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we have two peoples here. One are the Muslims who are Serbs that changed their religion, and us Serbs here. And there was a war here 30 years ago, and it's cooking again. So my parents won't let me to go to the tournament because it's in Muslim part of the country. So I can go stream tomorrow any day now.
Oh, so you can stream tomorrow and
whenever. I mean, I don't have the tournament, so...
Oh, so if you handle a stream on Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we could totally do that then for Thursday then. That's wonderful. That means we can keep with the same schedule we did last week. Very good.
Yeah, because everybody here is scared that new war is going to start, so they won't let me go.
Yep, they won't let you. Yeah, I understand. That's a scary situation to deal with in your country, with a conflict breaking out. Because I don't think. Yeah, I mean, and I think in the Western countries like ours, we don't understand just how important our political and economic decisions are. Because if we make the wrong ones, we could end up in that situation ourselves with a big player that could do a lot of harm to us. So I mean. I think when people go to the
Yeah, like
ballot box, they just make these weird decisions and they don't think about, hey, if you vote for this person in, they could lead to a major world war or something that could threaten everyone's life, not including the people that don't want to be involved in the war, who didn't want that.
yeah, like that Trump assassination.
Oh, you know what? I think that was to start World War III myself, because I feel like because somebody knew about the Iran thing going on and they were going to put it on Iran and, that would have been a justification to start it right there and people would have willingly joined because of how catastrophic something like that would be. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like there's a part to starting a world war to that people aren't thinking about, personally.
Yeah, it could have started the second American Civil War, like Republicans and Democrats again.
Well, I feel like those would have been proxies to a world war. One part, the left would take China's side on that whole thing, and technically Russia, even though they supposedly don't like them, but they would join them anyways because they like the Chinese style of governing, and then the right wingers would take their own alliance, and it would have been a total mess for sure.
Yeah. Also, like here, we like 30 years ago, there was the same war that happened, and um, our country was bombed by NATO, like with uranium and stuff,
Oh wow.
and many people were deported. Like my family lived in apart with Muslims, and now we live in part where Serbs live. So we were forced to move out.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that war too. It's definitely pretty insane how that went down.
Yeah, just Yugoslavia falling apart and everybody trying to mm, live,
Yeah,
just survive the war and hope for the best.
I think everybody knows that war because of the memes that circulate online about to this day with the accordion.
Yeah, my father was a war criminal, a song.
Oh, very interesting.
That was a song that went on Eurovision one year from, I think, Serbia.
Ah, very interesting.
It was just pure diss track.
So getting
Yeah,
back to combat of our AW3, we got the
yeah.
Swedes and the Dutch versus the Mexicans and the Maltese in a death match. How do you feel about Malta and Mexico on a teaming together against these two civs?
I mean, Malta has some pretty nice units,
And they
and Mexico again can that outlaw build and stuff. But Don Stowe and Alaya, we know them from that match earlier, and they are one of the best players I've seen play that match
yeah
as a
the
whole.
yep the one thing Malta has in its back pocket though is they discovered teleportation devices with their commanderies, so they can warp anywhere they want to on the map where there's a commandery.
Really?
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the commandery before? The ability where you can garrison units inside the commandery, and you can press a big button to
Oh,
have them
that.
warped into the other one.
Yeah, but I thought something else. I didn't realize what you were talking about. Yeah,
Uh,
I saw that. So, like, if Malta takes out a big part of land, they can pretty much force opponent to come out and fight them.
yeah,
And also, they have those nice cannons, cavalries, and guard hussars. So, order hussars.
oh yeah, with extra stats on them, so definitely a good option to go with.
it's an interesting choice from Elia just getting down to TCs at a very different location than usually.
Here comes spies. Spies from Leah.
That's quite interesting.
Pikemen
Mexico
and
immediately
spies.
putting down a fort. Yeah.
Mexico doing banditos. A very good option.
I think every Mexico game that we've watched so far up to this point is Mexico doing banditos, and when they run out of resources, they just go pure insurgents.
Yeah, basically, because, the Bandito's a very strong outlaw because it's got that dynamite throw that really gives it an extra edge over the regular Renegados of the, of the old game, basically.
Yeah, because of that area of damage, area of effect.
Horse
And they're
artillery,
pretty
though,
nice.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Gonna try to throw some Suatreros in there to try to deal with them.
Yeah, Quatreros are pretty nice, but it seems that Elia just raiding with pikemen at the base of Malta. That's pretty interesting.
Shipment of the guard. She's the Lancers, though, wiping out the infantry. That was a pretty good move on Mexico's part to even the playing field a bit with all those skirmishers riding up on them.
Yeah, those Garochistas are just dealing 3 times damage to infantry is very, very OP.
Guard Sentinels are going to try to take on the Gustavian Guard Halberdiers, looks like, over there.
Yeah, there's a few things that I think that can improve the game, like balance changes in the... First was that Sweden should get a 4 Calvarine card. They don't have one, so I think in this position, where Mexico is just building horse artillery and sending heavy cannons in, that if Sweden had that 4 Calvarine card, that could be a pretty nice thing to do, send. And another thing, it stopped.
Yep, I was synced, yeah. This looks like a pretty interesting puzzle. It says, let me read the description in the Discord for it. It says, if I scroll up, it says, it's a 3v3 deathmatch that becomes a 2v3, then 2v2, then 2v1. So people resign at weird times. That makes for some interesting conflicts, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and that's different teams. That not just one team is in the lead, and the moment 2 of their guys resign, and you are alone fighting 2 people in that match. That's like a death sentence.
Yeah, it's a death sentence.
And that's what I hate about. If you are playing ranked game, get ready and just play it until your teammates say it's over, and don't just start the game and then resign immediately. There's no point.
Those are the worst. People that just go in and go like, oh, I don't want to go deal with this. I'm just going to resign and let everybody fend for themselves,
Yeah, because if you clicked that play button, you should play.
Yeah, not just pull out at the first second.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of clowns that actually do that on purpose, which is really scary and dangerous, I think, because, people just trying to, do a game, maybe record it, and you're ruining their experience by just resigning when they get into the game. At that point, they can't do anything because they can't get into a real match doing that.
Yeah, I think only time that you can resign is if your teammates say it's over, or if you are playing 1v1. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even when you run out of resources and you're getting pushed back, sometimes your friends can tribute your resources. They can send an army to help you. It's whoa, wait! Somebody already lost the factory wagon here. Who to Floxy's Germany? Oh wow, that's serious. Is this why the guy resigns? Maybe he's gonna I don't know. I mean, that might be a good excuse to resign if you lose both your factories before they even go up. That's really exceptional circumstances. Is this one?
Friends.
Yeah, this one's gonna go down. He lost both of his factories. That's unbelievably devastating. Losing villagers.
Yeah, that's devastating.
Huh.
But you should try to. Maybe you can snipe a few factories or so.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, he's got like 15k resources in his back pocket still. It's not like he could, he could get a bunch of halbs, petards, and do some sneak attacks somewhere. Options.
Yeah, and try to even out the playing field, try to take out your opponent's cavalry factories, and I mean,
map and ice.
Resigning that.
He doesn't like ice on the maps because he can't place his stuff properly the way he wants to.
Yeah, that's true. Here we see.
And who's doing anything about this British here, free to build as many walls as they want while all this is going on? What's going on with that?
Yeah, this is an ice map, so you can't build in the middle, right?
Yeah, the big ice lake in the center.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't build in the middle, so you can't stop your opponent with walls like the priest is doing. Also, France still trying to pull out. A nice raid from Elia, taking a lot of villagers and...
Oh yeah, and I mean, I like how France is getting the old guards, so at least they're getting some grenade launchers. They could certainly push a bit doing that, even in their current predicament.
Yeah, if those old guards catch the Red Coat Musketeers from Green Britain, it's pretty much game on from that point.
My question is, what is Teal doing? Teal isn't participating at all here. What's Teal even up to?
Teal is just building walls, I don't understand.
He's playing SimCity right now. That's basically it.
Yeah.
And this Japan is just making really small armies of 5 samurai, 5 nagis. What is this? It's literally just a 2v2 with 2 people watching on the sidelines playing a SimCity game.
Yeah, it seems both of them are just let these guys fight out while we build some army.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are they gonna use? I imagine at some point they're gonna do something here. They're gonna.
What's Japan's deck?
They just sent frugal construction shipment, by the way. So they got that. Somebody sent that. He's going with dojos right now. So he's got one dojo over here. Doesn't have the other one though. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, dojos are a good card, but still.
47 Ronin. Yeah. He's gonna go with 47 Ronin. Really? Wow, very interesting.
Look look at the name of his deck, beginner. He
Yeah,
has age 1 cards
because he's a
and
beginner.
yeah, I mean,
Kids,
he has a
kids.
standard deck. This is like a good deck if you play normal game, but now it isn't any good. And he sent 4 villager card. That's diabolic, as to say at least.
Yeah. Looks like they're fighting now, though. British is going full Grenadier without grenade launchers, which has me a little bit concerned for them. Do they have grenade launch? Yeah, they need to get that British Grenadiers out and get those launchers on them to get the full value out of them. That's a priority. Yep, they're getting it right now.
Also, what do you think? Are Japanese musketeers too good, and are Haudenosaunee Tomahawk too weak? What do you think?
I mean, I guess Tomahawks can afford to be weak because they have a different resource cost that makes them work a bit differently. So if you run out of mines, you can still make Tomahawks, and that's sort of the point behind them is they're not supposed to be a power play unit. They're supposed to be a more trash unit, basically.
Yeah, and about Japanese Ashigarus, what do you think about them?
Oh, they're a tough one to deal with, especially with their speed and stuff. They can wreck up a lot of players who aren't, ready to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, Imperial Ashigaru has 400 HP and deals 56 damage. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, this grenade launcher spam by British is pretty powerful. It's actually forcing Aliyah to go off of his raiding expedition to help his friend out at this point.
Yeah, and now I know in old game like Legacy Day, Grenadiers were way better, but still with mortars they are a formidable unit even nowadays.
Wait, you think Grenadiers were good back then? I thought a lot of people thought that they were very situational back then and they didn't have a lot of usage.
I mean, they were a nice unit in all days, because I think what they did to them were they had way bigger area of effect and damage. I think they had more damage than they have nowadays.
Oh, I mean, 3.5 splash is pretty good, I think. I thought back in those days, British would only have like 3 splash on them with the incendiary grenades.
I think they had 4 or something like that, but
Oh,
still.
really? I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and Alaya now producing falconets and just killing.
Yeah, and British, they're running out of food, so they're gonna have to think about getting some tea and crumpets or whatever to get a decent addition of infantry or something.
Yeah, definitely. And also I think they should build a market and just sell wood. And why do they have villagers on wood and inactive villagers? As Britain.
Yeah. Looks like Germany is defending pretty well here against France, who is kind of forced to do the push on that. So, guys, I gotta go, sorry. So he's just gonna leave because he has to go. Like, what's going on, man? You can't stay for a decent fight? Why would you join if you can't stay? Exactly. He called it. Like, why would you... Doesn't make any sense at that point. Like, if you can't deal with it, don't come. This isn't our problem. If you're gonna leave, why don't you tribute your resources to your friends? Why did he hold on to 10,000k in sushi and 10k 14,000 wood and almost 10,000 yen at that point. He could have set that to an ally and helped propel them to the win. Oh yeah, I mean, you could have given those resources to France and they would be doing a lot better in their fight here because they'd be able to keep the good fight going. But now they're going to run out of resources because you had a bunch of them and you didn't fork them over to them when you left.
Yeah, I mean, still it seems like Alaya is doing pretty good, even though one of his teammates is a douchebag and left in the middle of the game.
Yeah, certainly.
So still.
Yep, but Aaliyah, we know, is a very exceptional player in deathmatch. So I mean, if it was anyone else, they probably would have quit too because they were tired. They would just be tired of that circumstance. But Aaliyah can make things happen. So I think he's gonna fight to the very end here, and either he's gonna come on top and shell them out, or he's gonna, slowly turn into a husk.
Which top player was House of the Trading Post?
HVNI is a House of the Trading Post member.
Yeah, but who was that guy?
What
that
the
name?
What, the ones that I did the stream for last week?
No, the top player. Who is the best player?
Oh, Revnak. Revnak's probably the best one in House of the Trading Post. He's the one that does all the lessons and everything.
Yeah, and he was in the chat typing.
Oh, interesting. What did he say?
Nothing, just said our names and it's all.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's sort of what he did during my stream, but with the Oreo and the hot dog, basically. Just cheered us on, sort of, when we were doing the streaming for that. Did you like that stream? Did you see it yet, me and Niceus?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it happened, I think, back on Sunday. Yeah, it was a good stream. It was the end of the House of the Trading Post tournament, the finals, where Oreo took on the guy with the hot dog PFP, basically. So, two food items fighting for food supremacy.
Yeah, so now... still, Elia just pushing in, but his teammate, France, is not doing that great, and also with Red resigning, I don't... this is going too nice for blue team.
Yep, big time. Look at this nice play by the Rockets from British to force off the field guns. Force them into a retreat. Oh, but Mother Nature is killing his rockets. These mangy mutts are trying to bite his rocket. You gotta deal with that.
They managed to take them out.
Yeah, luckily they got enough HP, though, to take that biting abuse for a bit. All these culverins, though, that's going to be pretty significant if they try to defend with artillery. Oh no, but he's going with the Drabants, though. That's not good. Drabants can do pretty well against these.
Yeah, they do pretty good. Against... oh, how many culverins is that? I think he overproduced a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was thinking he was just going to go artillery and something and figured, oh yeah, just spam culverins. That's a great idea. Not thinking they was going to swap off to dragoons or something. That's why you really can't just build only artillery. It works somehow for the expert AI when you're a kid, but don't do it beyond that. It just doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, and I don't think Elia even needs to take them out
Oh yeah,
because
no,
they
because they're doing such
effective.
little overall damage to your regular units and buildings. You got time to prepare for that. It's not like he's coming in with heavy cannon or something or mortars, where it'd be more urgent.
Yeah. So here, not looking good for blue team. France just going hussars only, and teal. Teal Great Britain just, I don't know what they are doing with Calverines. Germany doing
What's
skirm.
Green doing? Green is just sort of sitting here with a big army doing nothing. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Are they trying to be
Yeah,
nice
watch.
because they know they're outnumbered? I don't know what's going on with that.
Maybe they are just like, well, do I even need to fight?
Yeah, I
Maybe,
mean,
maybe not.
yeah, she's just spectated, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if you watch my channel, you don't have to spectate anything because I'll show it to you myself. So just watch me more, and you don't have to sit out in games because you know I'm just going to show it to you anyways if you want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and it seems big raids coming from Alaya and France, but they are going to run into a lot of Uhlans and Redcoat Musketeers, so I don't think they are going to be very effective, but
Yeah.
still.
In a sense, I feel like Green British holding their army back is kind of demoralizing for the people trying to attack them because you think that you're going to have a pretty good push, and then he just comes in with like 200 pop and just denies you. So, I mean, that's a pretty good tactical way to demoralize your enemies, I think.
Yeah, 170 Redcoat Musketeers, so uh, it isn't nice to fight them.
Yeah, especially when they all come at the same time like that after you've sort of fought your way there with whatever army you got, thinking, you know, I got a shot to do this outnumbered, but no, 200 units is coming to save the day. Why are you even here, you know? But, you know, I guess based on the recording's title, if it goes the way it says it is, then, yeah, I think something's going to
So,
happen to change the circumstances.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Teal's coming in with a big variety of special units. Got the Highlanders, got the Guard Rangers, got the Redcoats, Rockets. This is a huge army here. Pretty
Yeah,
sca-
it is, but they are pushing alone and it, they are a bit reckless.
Yeah, and he's not
So,
protecting his rockets. That's a big no-no. You need to protect those because with the rockets, you can actually take out Cav with those if you're really careful and smart, you know. But if you kind of leave them unprotected, you're not going to get that value that you want out of them. So, I mean, definitely protect your rocket. Like this, like he's idling and he didn't like move some infantry to take out that hussar, which you could have to save another rocket.
yeah. And also now in comes the Polish hussars from Alaya, actually, so it will be interesting to see if he is going to continue with that mercenary kind of build.
Yeah, yep, now he's just sort of getting overrun by hussars, it looks like. But thankfully, he's got some redcoats mixed in with that and the Highlanders. So, I mean, he's got a bit of protection there, too. So, yeah, GG from France. Red, yeah, that should have never been put in that situation by Red. Very unfortunate.
It doesn't seem to be going
Where's
blues team
Oh,
way.
France is out of croissants. So yeah, they're definitely not doing good. Where did the Y go in your name?
And now Red is being cursed. Everybody's angry because this was, I think, ranked.
That is really nasty to do because again, Japan could have sent France 10k resources to hold out this fight, and he basically said, "I don't care. You can lose your ELO points. I don't care, man. I gotta go on my date now, or go to McDonald's or whatever, and see you later, man." Basically.
Yeah, France still in the game.
What's up with this Ford wagon on the front lines by Germany? This is not a good. Well, why is he keeping it in the front lines like that? He knows that they. Yeah, see, Aiken spotted that and he told Aaliyah to get it because he's. Imagine losing a Ford wagon to spy. No, now it's going up. Yeah, but still a chance of taking it out though if they're very smart and they can swarm it. Yeah, like use anything you can use. Dragoons. Any fast thing you can get over here to dampen its HP is just a really good idea while it's constructing because you're going to shave the HP off pretty good.
I would have dived in with hussars or any cavalry just to get that 4 down. I mean,
yeah, I think
with HP.
Yeah. The good thing about the hussars is they benefit from pillage, so they can get some higher siege when they're going into situations like that.
Again, look at the fort. 13,000 HP. It's pretty good, but it isn't going to last a lot. It's going to go down pretty easily.
So it looks like France is actually doing petards. Usually it's Aaliyah who does the petards, so that's pretty surprising.
Yeah, I mean, they have to try something because you are a teammate down and you do need to try to snipe enemy factories, TCs, to destroy the economy and anything essentially. Just try to live. Try to survive the game because you are a teammate down and yeah, still attacking Elias foundries, just going in there, destroying infrastructure.
Yeah, especially when you know Sweden is forced onto crossbowmen. That means you can act with pretty much impunity at that point because he doesn't have like a normal skirmisher in his roster. It's either crossbowmen or the very costly Jaeger, so you can definitely exploit that against Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, you see currently that Sweden doesn't have any gold at this point, and good thing about Sweden is they can get those infantry guns or leather cannons that are
super cheap. Good trash unit for sure in terms of cost.
And they cost wood, so
yeah, you don't need coin for it. Good trash unit.
And Alaya losing a lot of torp. But yeah, those infantry guns, food and wood, so pretty much a very solid cannon. 22 range, and they are a pretty good anti-infantry unit essentially, because 50 bomber attack times 3 against infantry is quite solid, to say at least.
Oh, most definitely.
Also, France building old guards once again, and Elia and his teammate are just trying to balance out everything, because like they are attacked by Germany and Green and British player in the east side, and Teal finally gets his army up and raids west, and they are just balancing, trying to do something, just waiting, praying that something will happen.
Yeah, I think at this point it's going to come down to if Leah and Aiken can actually beat the green and the yellow, because it feels like Teal is just trying to be this annoying mosquito that keeps biting into Aaliyah's leg at this point, so he can't do anything. It's not actually a threat, he's just, holding him back, basically.
Yeah, just forcing Elia to get his army back and just keeping him occupied most of the time. Yeah, and look at his losses now. He isn't microing at all. Elia with around 15 infantry guns just obliterating those grenadiers, so quite nice.
Advanced Mill by Teal. Or is that green, or that's Teal. Teal's actually forced to get Advanced Mill. Like, when do you ever see that in a deathmatch game?
Oh, and Teal also having only 28 villagers, so
Yeah,
did not
that's a
expect
death
that.
sentence right there. I mean, you got Virginia companies, so why aren't you making those manners to you know, keep up with that? Well, he did, but he didn't train any villagers beyond that. I kind of think that's a problem, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, lack
Also,
of eco cards, only Refridge and Royal Mint here.
yeah, and I think Teal's time is running up right now, because he doesn't have anything special. He has that forward base and little to no men. So I think what they should do is firstly try to push out Teal and his little forward operation in the west, and then just try to take out these better guys later on.
Oh yeah, Teal, like I said, is the little mosquito that keeps biting into your ankle and making you itchy. As soon as you get the fly swatter on you, splat him on the wall. It's not going to be flying around anymore, and you can deal with the real problem ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, first kill the mosquito and then kill
The bear that's
the
trying to
real.
eat your face off, basically.
Yeah. Maybe bear isn't the right animal, because if bear was trying to eat me, I would first fight the bear, then the mosquito. But
Yeah, maybe it's just a very angry dog or something. Who knows? Or an angry cat.
yeah, yeah. So it seems that even Teal has enough resources They have 6,000 food and 1,000 coin, but they don't know. They started to spend it, and another mosquito expedition coming.
Yeah, it looks like Elias caught intercepted though with his lever cans and his pikemen.
Yeah. And if this mass of infantry goes down now, they can surrender immediately because you don't have much resources there, and yeah. Yeah, and also I'm looking at our uh, it's been pretty consistent at around 5 to 6 viewers all
Oh,
the time.
impressive. That's really good to see. I guess they really like our mosquito analogies in Deathmatch.
Yeah. Also, Green losing all his falconets to leather cannons until only now building villagers at 30 minutes into the game. So,
Yeah. It feels like one of those Age of Empires 2 players that just spams a bunch of siege archers and paladins and somebody just making Hussar and Pikeman and the one spamming Hussar and Pikeman just wins because of how bad their micro is, basically.
yeah. Now again, I think red team, if they didn't have Germany, they would have lost by now definitely, because Germany is the only one that's pushing out, trying to pressure France and attacking, building an army, as Thiel is just going building a few grenadiers and just trying to bite, as you said, Elias' ankle. And Green is like, we saw that at the start of the game he like built a lot of musketeers, set them in the base, and I don't think he's doing much right now. So it'd be interesting to see what will happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and someone in the chat asking, why are there no Liberty streams?
Well, what, Wars of Liberty streams?
Yeah, somebody's asking
Oh,
in the chat.
yeah, we could do that for sure, you know what I mean? We actually got enough recordings to do one of those. Would you be up to do that with me, you think? Maybe next week? Or
Yeah,
maybe this week? We could maybe do one this week and save DE for next week.
yeah. I don't have any tournaments. I don't have anything to do because for me it's already night, so I do have enough time to stream.
Oh, awesome. So on Thursday, people will do a Wars of Liberty cast a game stream because I actually got a bunch of recordings that I can't seem to catch up on, so we'll just do them all on the stream and get through a lot of them together. That might be a great way to get through them.
Yeah, so Sagavai Black.
Oh,
You
yeah,
are you
Sagawai
can
Black. Oh, I played with him before. He loves Wars of Liberty.
Yeah, he asked why they weren't any wall streams, so
Oh,
you can be happy now.
yeah. The reason why we didn't have a for a while was because Chorizo sort of canceled the Liga because he felt like only a few people were participating and getting their games in on time, and he was getting tired of it, basically. And he also said, too, that he was tired of having the worst score on the board and stuff, and he just didn't want to continue at that point. He, won one
Yeah,
game
and
versus me, and that raised his self-esteem score by 20,000 because he won one game, and then I came in the next game and did World War I on him in a 1v1. So that's very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, out of those two reasons, I think the one that made him quit the tournament was him having the lower score.
Yeah, like
Not,
actually had like his score was so low at that time. I called him Liga B Chorizo at that point because he was like teetering on that line of being considered Liga B material in terms of the performance.
yeah. So currently, again, even friends going for pikemen because it seems that they have run out of mines. So just everybody spamming pikemen, and we see the Teal finally quit because he had no resources.
Yep.
So it's a 2v2 now.
Yeah, that's a good notice for people. Get some economy cards in your deathmatch deck. Don't just get Refridge and Royal Mint. You know, I mean, also you should literally just drop Advanced Estate and Advanced Mill and just get Sustainable Agriculture, Textile Mill, Cigar Roller, Team Rum Distillery, since that helps everybody out. I mean, that's just a good rule of thumb. Just get good cards when you're doing deathmatch. I mean, or you're gonna end up like this little teal mosquito that got splattered on the wall, and now he's not flying anymore.
Yeah, he had a pretty bad deck, and he didn't use it
Yep.
properly. He didn't micro his grenadiers, and he just lost. So yeah, now I think it is pretty nice for blue team because now because there aren't going to be any mosquito attacks coming. You can focus all of your military trying to defeat, I think, green,
Oh yeah.
and then Germany is just o- over at that point. And these war wagons are the MVPs of the game. They have went through so many enemy soldiers, fought skirmishers, cannons, cavalry, normal infantry. They are MVPs.
Very bad team. Germany just quit.
Oh, so now.
It's just that one green British by himself. Raiding villagers with about 4 musketeers. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Germany was. He was pulling away everything, and then at, at the end he couldn't do anything, so.
Yellow out. Uh, Green will also go out at some point.
Yeah.
Like, Aaliyah doesn't even care that he's losing villagers anymore. Like, they feel like they can do this.
Yeah, I mean, these ladder cannons, he messed them out pretty easily, and now that mess is just going to melt everything down.
Oh yeah, I think in a sense, losing villagers for Sweden might actually be a good thing because you got so much resources in your back pocket. That means more military to put out on the field alongside France and easier to overwhelm them.
Yeah, I mean, friends, just building stands watch, and it's already over because.
Look at this idle cannon here, just not doing anything. And where's the army here at this point? Like, what's going on? I mean, he's got resources of some kind, so he's trying to defend down here with field guns and redcoats, I guess. But what are you gonna do then? Because you can't let this happen.
If this map wasn't like this ice lake, and if he could have put the walls all the way up, maybe he could have tried like with these towers to defend, but yeah, he just doesn't have enough. population, resource.
Yeah, again, lack of eco cards in the deathmatch deck. Like, what's up with this? He's got Royal Mint. He's got Silversmith. Why would you get Silversmith? I mean, why would you get Silversmith? Because that's gonna expire in Worth as soon as the mines get eaten up on the map. Why would you get that in a very late game driven mode?
2 infinite frontier towers. That's just
Yeah,
why.
eight longbowmen. What's up with this? 8 longbowmen.
And he's sending that card now. You could just go. Instead of that, you could get 18 infinite longbowmen, I think,
Or
in H4.
another option, get the Cherokee Rifleman. It's a native unit, so it doesn't cost any population, and you can add it on top of your regular army.
And also 6 longbowmen in H2. If he just took out those 2 cards, and then and 4 and 3 villagers, you know you aren't going to use those cards. So I think the best for you would be just to get some H4 and H3 cards that are good.
Yeah.
Because that's 4 cards essentially aren't going to use in any normal game, but are there taking up space for something else.
Yeah, I mean,
And
the only good unit cards you got here is maybe the Infinite Falcon, the Infinite Mortar one, because we do see players like Don Stowe and Aaliyah use that all the time when their score runs low. They can add in some artillery to add to the siege, so that those are good cards, but the ones with the archers, any of those other unit cards should actually not be there at all. They're just taking up space for things like textile mill, refridge, cigar roller, any potential combat cards, Cherokee Rifleman. Yeah, like even like a infinite mercenary card would be better because, well, if you can plan it out to have like 190 pop and then you throw some mercenaries on top of that, now you're
yeah,
going over the number much better. So I mean, it just comes down to good unit choices in your decks.
I think I was looking at British mercenaries yesterday or 2 days before this, and while I was looking, I think they have an infinite 2 heavy cannons, 4 Highlanders, 3 those very good British goons, like that deal 100 damage per shot,
Yep, the
and
Harquebusiers.
another, yeah, those, and another few thing. They have that infinite shipment for 2,000 gold, so that might be a way better shipment than 8 infinite longbowmen. That's just unreasonable.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think Green is just having that one somewhere high because he's very angry at his teammates, and I mean he's angry at his life right now, and he just wants to be a pain in the ass and force Elia and Aikin to look for that one villager that's standing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Looks like I think they're cleaning up at this point, so I think they're basically gonna have victory.
Yeah, right now.
Yep, he's
Just look.
gone. There's a defeat.
So this game was pretty nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
in unexpected ways.
yeah, if there wasn't that name, we wouldn't have expected this outcome. that firstly Japan would leave, then TL would lose all his resources and just leave the game, and Floxy surrendering because his teammates were autistic, as to
Yeah,
say at least, and
fidget spinners.
yeah. So Elia having way more resources.
Yep, and then when we get to kills here, looks like Germany was actually the best fighter of this game, but just couldn't deal with the other players not doing their jobs.
Yeah, that was what I said.
Yeah.
Germany only one in the red team, pressuring, trying to pull away the score, trying to do something nice, to try to snipe factories and stuff. But yeah, still not that interesting, and Germany just having Skirm Goon build and doing pretty nice with it. Then we have Green that was doing Falk Mask. Didn't do the best, but didn't do the worst either. And we see here Elia 1600 units and nearly lost them all. 1000 pikemen on the field. Yeah, it was pretty interesting game.
Now this is going to be a very interesting game. We got a 3-player FFA on survival map and deathmatch. So literally the map is completely bare. The only thing there is sand and soil and little pieces of grass that unfortunately you can't eat, you can't make buildings of, and you can't mine it. So you're basically living on 20k of each resource. Use it wisely, and of course, when it comes down to it, you're gonna have to eventually get some sort of farming going, or maybe use your factories. Because if you don't use them, you don't get your eco buildings out in the proper amount. You might end up just not having anything left, while everyone else does. So, very interesting way this might
Yeah,
turn
that
out.
is. And also, what I like about this map, if you want to wall up, it's very, very easy because there is no terrain, there is no nothing. So it's pretty easy to build walls and place your infrastructure.
Yeah, it's also kind of annoying in a sense because you can get raided from anywhere as well. There's like no geography there to help you. You literally would have to put walls there just to stop any threat from coming in. And obviously, you might not have the wood on this map to do that since you can't chop for it anywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, this map is very interesting, and this is a free for all, so anything can happen. If you can get targeted by both players, yeah, it can happen that your opponents are fighting one another, and then you can just do your own stuff, try to sweep in, try to snipe the factories while they fight. So it's anybody's game, it seems. So
Oh yeah, most definitely. I like how Don Stowe just splits up his Minutemen on the wide terrain, so he's more likely to spot their Minutemen coming in and react to it appropriately with the other ones.
yeah, and we don't see
Look at this big wall
neither.
coming down from Aconstinos here.
That's a pretty big wall.
It's like the size of a pizza pie crust, pizza pie slice at that point.
Also, he's just trying to protect himself. He is building himself a corner. I don't love free for alls because when I play them, I most of the time get focused, attacked, and that's why I don't like them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I know that we played in Age of the World. I think it was you, me, and Agorn that played a free for all game, and he played with Brits. I played with Jesuits, and you played with what was it?
Malta.
Malta, yeah. And we played a game, and you got lost like somewhere in the middle game, and then hit me in the late game. So that's the reason I don't love free for all, because on many maps, like that map that we played on, I don't remember what's it called, but on many maps you aren't going to be put like this. Everybody has their own part. On that map, you were in the middle, so in you were in the middle of the map, and we were at the end. So that's the reason and that's why I don't like free for all on many maps, because somebody is going to be in disadvantageous position. So
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you're
I
going out to push, and they have spies or something. They have reconnaissance. They're just going to attack you when you're not at home and force you to delete that army and retrain one there. Unless you're Malta and you have the commander and you can just warp them in. But not everyone is Malta. Malta's Malta.
yeah, and so now don't stop trying to poke Akononstinos here, but Turkey just having their field guns and abusive guns ready firing. Yeah, I think Turkey or Ottomans are pretty good civ for they are pretty good civ for that match because of that mosque card. So you send that improved church card, and then you get out the spahis, out, you get the cannons out, you get
The Nizam Fusiliers.
I I forgot the name.
Yeah, they're in Wars of Liberty as well. That's why I know them so well.
Yeah, now Elia just sitting by the sideline and watching Akononstinos and Non-Stove fight it out. And in this position, it's better that you don't lose any eco, because you on this map you can't rebuild that easily. So if you don't lose many soldiers in the early game, later on you just have way more army and you are too much powerful for your opponents.
Look at these walls by Aliyah. Look at these.
Yeah, it's interesting. These bounce shots from horse cavalry doing a considerable amount of damage to abusive guns. Yeah, and Elia just securing himself because he's waiting out and he probably saw that Turkey and France are fighting, and he's like, oh well, I'm just going to wait out with my army, and in the meantime I can build myself a big barrier so my army can pass, and he can just wait it out until both of these guys lose considerable amount of their army and then just go in.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Looks like Leah's gonna join the combat now, throwing some redcoats here and some dragoons and hussars on this side. Probably just trying to do some scout work here and see where he's gonna make his impact.
Yeah, if I was British here, I would just sit back, enjoy the life,
Yep, enjoy
wait
the extra
for.
resources you're gonna be stockpiling.
Yeah,
But what's the fun in that, I guess? I mean, you could do that, but then, you might not get a very good recording for me to cast for you. So, again, involved in frustrating your opponents and catching them off guard, that's the way to go for good games.
yeah. It, yeah, you do recording, but you don't win cleanly as you if you just stayed back and wait it out. After this game, I have.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Certainly, you still there?
Yeah, I am.
Yep, you
So I have to
lost
go.
after this one? Yep. Alright.
Yeah, I finish this then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, well, this will be a pretty good one to finish up on, I think, because there's a lot of combat here. Cuirassier, horse artillery, and skirm trying to make a move on the Ottoman Rumeliets, as well as the dragoons and hussars breaking in from the British.
Yeah, Romelottis aren't the best in cavalry, but I think Cuirassiers just here going on Eva's guns and clearing them out because with their area of effect damage, pretty easily taking them down. And right now, skirmishers killing horse archers
Oh,
and friend.
rockets coming in from British. That's going to be a pretty big game changer here because those can wipe artillery out, they can wipe cav out, they can wipe infantry out, depending on how many you got and how well you target them.
Yeah, you just have to be very careful because of Culverines. They have more range and they can snipe them. But no, oh, I don't stove should have went. He should have dived in with the dragoons. He just should have went in and tried to kill as many rockets as he could.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I like how France is supporting their numbers by shipping in mortars from the home cities, so they don't have to shell out as much coin and wood on the artillery on that side. They can just focus on the cav and the infantry.
Yeah, only thing I don't like about mortars is they are filthy expensive.
Yeah, but when you ship them
They
like this, that's when you get good value. It's like 200 wood and like 800 coins, so that's a really good discount for you.
1,000 resources for free.
Yep, every time, and ready to use. Hussars
And
going in long to wipe out Ottoman artillery.
Yeah, and France still having some resources, and they do have Courier de Bois, so they are better than normal villagers. Also, Elia just built a huge himself and isn't getting raided, isn't spending as much resources as both of these guys are, and
Oh
he
yeah,
should be a lot better here than
yeah, most
all of these.
definitely.
A big raid incoming with curse on France base. Not France, but Don't Stove raiding Aconstantinos. So that's a big raid.
Yeah, my question is though, for like any of these players, why aren't they really getting some forward buildings out of like here? Or I see British is doing a little bit, but why are they sort of staying behind their walls? Why haven't they really pushed out beyond their walls to start putting buildings forward?
They are probably worried that both opponents are going to come for them and that they may lose them. So
Yeah, I can see British having some problems because they're running out of wood. It looks like they only have like 1,400 wood, so not a lot to work with. But for Ottomans, French, they got some wood to work with to start building a bit forward, and meeting the enemy quicker, taking them out quicker, and saving some resources on that.
there are two ways that Elia can get wood. One is through factories, and other is through buying wood from market. But market rates do go up very quickly, so I think factories would be the best bet
Oh yeah.
if.
Doesn't British get distributivism wood trickle as well? I don't see it in his deck, but he could have gone for that as well as another wood source.
Yeah, but that's very little
Yeah,
wood. That's like 0.35 wood
yeah, but
per
on
sec.
yeah on survival though, isn't it good to have any trickle at all since there's literally nothing on the map to support you with?
Yeah, I think Italy would be pretty good for survival.
Oh yeah, lots of free villagers with all those techs.
And also those that Lombard economy, so you can have
Yep, you
only
can
you can
trade it off into whatever you need.
yeah you can just put everybody on mills and then just throw Lombards, exchange it for wooden coin. And if you don't need wood, you can then exchange wood for food and coin. So essentially, you can choose what resource to have. And also, Italy has that trickle cards. They have, I think, 5 food per second card, like that pizza card. That's pretty nice. And also, they have capitalism just a bit better. So they do have some pretty good cards
Yep, we're
for
running into
this.
that right here. Ottoman's taking advantage of the moment and coming in with Piracy to siege everything down. Probably what Aaliyah was fearing.
Yeah, what's Ottoman's deck? Can we just
Yeah,
take a quick look?
yep. This is their deck here.
So, interesting. Yeah, their deck is Yeah, it seems pretty standard. I think next card is probably going to be that grenade launcher,
For the range, yeah.
and yeah, and also like having two bombards is pretty good. Infinite 7 Nizam fully 12 abusive guns.
I can see how good those Humbarasi are versus cannons. They just did some pretty good damage to those.
Yeah, they melt them.
Yep, they get
They
a
just melt.
multiplier against them, so that's like 68 damage against cannons with no armor to defend against that.
Yeah, and this was the thing I talked about earlier. Elia didn't build any forward base, and neither France nor Ottomans attacked him. And if he wanted to play for the win, he could have just waited for these two to fight each other out. But he probably didn't want just to sit there and wait. And now in a bit of a problem because even though his rocket artillery is free, losing them isn't easy because you do need, I think, 2 minutes to wait for one to build and you lose four. So Elias' losses are recoverable still.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's kind of like a sort of thing where you want to push out, but you also have to do it very gradually because at least when you have a smaller base, you can defend all your corners. But as you push out, you got more and more land to cover basically, and it might not be ideal for you to start putting all those barracks and stables under control groups to start doing it because once you put some of the buildings under one particular control group, then they all go in that direction, and it all becomes management related, basically.
Yeah, and also I think that every nation, even in the just in Age of the World mod, should have an infinite wood
Oh, like the Zone
build.
Groves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be a thing for sure because that's technically maybe 3 is the only game where they let you recover your gold infinitely. Whenever. Well, Age of Mythology does too, but it's a bit more complicated. You don't have like a gathering building. It's where you just build a bunch of trade carts and you send them back and forth between your town center, pretty much.
Yeah. I looked at one game and that for the gold because they ran out. And also, that's the thing I don't like in Age of Empires 2. You essentially are dependent on your gold. If you don't have enough gold, then you can't produce most of units, and then you have to go on crossbowmen and pikemen, and like you said earlier, games go on for days, not just hours.
Yeah, people literally going out on 5-hour dates and the game's still going on because they decide to idle for 5 hours and they know the enemy's not going to be able to siege their way in.
Do you have a market in Age of Empires 2? So can you exchange
Resources?
wood for?
Yep, you
Yeah,
can. You can do that, and some people got a technology that actually makes it more the market rate a bit more efficient for you too.
yeah. But even though you can exchange, I think after a while, buy and sell rates just
Yeah, it
go
becomes
over the
really
roof.
bad the rates because the more you buy and sell, the more expensive it becomes not only for you but all the other players on the map. because I know some FFA players, what they do is they'll sit there and chop wood and food the whole game, food and wood, and then they'll max out and grab they'll buy 10,000 stone at the start of the game with all their gold. And by doing that, basically, they make the price of stone too expensive for every other player in the game, so they can't actually get any more castles than they do, basically. And that's a good way to rip apart the market.
So yeah, Age of Empires 2 is complicated game,
Oh,
not
and
dumb
there is a way
gameplay
in
that
AoE 2 that you can actually get infinite gold, but it all depends on, again, if a player resigns early. So I guess what you might not know is you can actually trade at any player's resources, even if you're not allied to them, if they're your enemies. So if you can kill a player in like regicide, like wipe them out and they have nothing but a market, you can actually trade your cards at their market as if they were an ally. And in FFA, if players don't delete their markets, that means that the enemy player takes their market as a spoil of war, and they can use it to get infinite gold with their own trade cards.
yeah, that's a nice feature, but I think after a while people are just gonna realize delete their markets before resigning.
You'd be surprised,
Just to
though,
be
of people that don't do that. They just press the resign button and don't care, basically. They don't know that, or they don't care, and they just give that player the game, basically, because they can keep making champs, paladins, hand cannons, all those food and gold units with impunity, where everyone else is just making halves and stuff.
yeah, so here we see France not doing that much, and I just don't realize all of them are just sending their units into Doom. So
Yep.
they are just charging each other and stuff like that. I personally, if I was in this game, I would just by the side and wait.
Yeah, he's probably doing it for subscribers, though. Like, man, nobody's gonna subscribe to me if I just do the easy way out. I gotta do something here to upset the balance. And I think as long as Leah is like attacking both players equally, it's probably okay. Because if he was just dedicating all his energy into one of the players and he was doing a 2v1 against him, yeah, that would be a bit of a problem. And I think what Aaliyah is probably doing is he's trying to soften him up a bit so, the game can go by a bit quicker. Because if you just make it into a 1v1, these players could play for 24, 48 hours. And, basically you're sitting there waiting for your turn to do something, and they're still playing for like 48, 68, 198 hours doing the same 1v1, and then you come in at the end. So you gotta do something to sort of soften them up, make them burn through resources, blow something up, upset the balance a bit, so maybe you can get into that fight a bit sooner. And it looks a bit more interesting that way. Like, what's going on right here. Leah's doing the right fighting up front. France comes in with some splash cavalry here and just takes advantage of that to wipe out some vills.
I am sorry, I'm maybe a bit early, but I do have to go. It's already 2 a.m. for me, so...
I understand, yeah. Yep, that's fine. We'll, I'll finish up the rest of this cast. Because we're already, like, 25 minutes into it, so I definitely don't want to, start over again.
Yeah, definitely. So, good luck and...
See you on Thursday for some Wars of Liberty. It'll be your first time seeing that, so you might be introduced to a bunch of new stuff that you haven't seen before.
Good night.
Yep, good night. Alright, Hopefully everyone enjoyed StefanMitrovic's visit today. He's always a great co-caster for me. Very attentive, checking the chat, giving his insights. I definitely like having him around. And unfortunate his situation in Serbia with potential conflict going on, but at least he'll be with us for Thursday to do another stream, which originally wasn't part of the plan. So that's good. On Thursday, we will be doing Wars of Liberty because a very dedicated subscriber, Saga Y Black, recommended we do a Wars of Liberty stream after we haven't done it for such a long time. So I think, we could switch things up and do one Wars of Liberty stream, one DE stream to make everything equal. You know what I mean? I am like the only sort of big time Wars of Liberty streamer out there, so I gotta, put some more dedication and get those casted games done out for the community. Yeah. And maybe we'll see some ones with World War I in it, so yeah. That's something I'm definitely looking forward to for sure. But in the meantime, I'm going to be covering the rest of this match for you on my own and just give you some of my own insight into this. So, right now it's a 3-way free-for-all, some of the more bloodier types of free-for-alls, because essentially when it's even number of players, free-for-alls are pretty balanced, because one person is fighting one person and that sort of thing is happening on the other side of the map. But when it's a 3-way FFA, you got two options, basically we said before, Aaliyah or one of the players could just opt to sit it out and let it be a formal 1v1 and then take their turn. But actually, while some argue that that's an act of sportsmanship to do that, it's actually kind of a bad idea to do because what will happen is one player will die, and when you go to fight them after you've idled, you're going to have double the resource stockpile. I made probably more map control because he had time to just play SimCity and just build, right? Because, let's face it, if you're busy trying to micro and fight on these front lines like this, you're not thinking about construction a whole lot. It's like every other second you can idle and get some hotkeys out to get the racks and a stable going. So, if you're not fighting, you got time to build, you got time to gather. And when that player's done defeating the other one, it's already skewed in your favor, so it's really like they won the game by doing nothing but playing Farmville and SimCity, and that's why it's great that Aaliyah is being an active participant, putting his army on the front lines, trying to, attack pretty equally here, I think, and you can be a threat to everybody, because now that means, while the game might be a bit longer as a result, because the win condition isn't as definitive, even though we are in definitive edition. Wink, wink, wink. Basically, what happens is, now everybody's fighting everyone, and it's more equal. So everybody's got relatively same amount of resources, or theoretically, right? Ottomans are certainly, they're missing some food. The British got their fish and chips, the French got their stinky cheese and their croissants and snails, so they certainly got a lot of food, but certainly. You see more balanced resources and map control when all the players are participating together, which, I think really helps it out, for sure. But anyways, what we see here is, we see France going with the combo of musks, Voltaguires, goons, and cannons. Ottomans are doing a lot of cav archers, they got a bit of, Humbarses mixed in with that. Humbarses, as we've seen before, really great siege units, and they're great at sniping the cannons because of their anti-artillery multiplier. The one thing I like about these cav archers when they fight is their damage is lower, but they got a good rate of fire. They fire those arrows twice as fast as the dragoons fire their sidearms, basically. So they're more likely to actually get those arrows out and do some damage, whereas the dragoon takes a little bit of time to recharge his firearm. So in some ways, having a faster shooting weapon is better than a slow or strong one, I think. Now, this is a little unfortunate. Ottomans completely caught off guard here. They're going to lose a fort for free to about 3 howitzers And France keeping up the artillery, goon, Musk, and Voltaguire comp still. Yeah, the Cav Archers aren't going to do very good here because Cav Archers don't have Pierce armor. They have Hack armor. So it means Skirms have a much easier time dealing with them. Now, this was very risky. You can't push too far with the horse artillery because you are a constant threat of Humbarsi blasting you, which they just did right here. You know, they took out 2 of the horse already. This one's almost gone. This one's mostly okay. So, I mean, when you're dealing with someone with a powerful anti-artillery tool like the Humbarsi, you can't plow your artillery too forward or you're going to lose them and you're going to be 20 steps back. Right now, it seems like both Alia and Don Stowe are ganging up on Ottomans, maybe to take him out. They know he's a bit wounded here because he only has 1 factory. One of his other ones were sniped earlier in the match. So yeah, maybe they feel like they can get a win out of this one, and then they can go at each other next. It all depends, you know. It's a 3-way fight here. While they might be cooperating a little bit in their minds, you know, going after the same opponent, things can always change. You know, one player might pull out and say, you know what, he's doing most of the work, I can pull out and start attacking him now. And that's what makes the 3-player free-for-all that complex, you know, because I think even with like bigger odd numbers like 5-player FFA and 7-player FFA, you know, yeah, the impact of that one player is not doing anything is a little bit less basically, but in this situation that one player has a lot more influence because there's a lot less armies and stuff going around on the field. So if that player plows into something, there's more players who could actively attack them, and they're sort of put in more check, basically. So, yeah, I think 3 PFFA is certainly the big one for sure in matches like this. Definitely the very interesting thing about survival here is the fact that the map is very open. Oh wow, look at the town surge just went down. So is France gonna? Yep. He sees that. He's going for it. He's going to get his splash cav here. Does he have a TC? Yeah, no, he doesn't. He's going to have to construct a TC. Because if he can't construct it... Oh, he's going to take that time to take out the factory and... Oh, no, yeah, that happened. Now, it's kind of shameful because these files recordings rarely out of sync that late in the match. So, I mean, that's kind of a shame that we didn't get to see the end of that, you know. We got the idea, though, because I feel like Ottomans were certainly on their way out. They were going to lose the factory. He was going to lose the majority of his vills, and I feel like it was going to turn into a France versus British match at that point. And unfortunately, I can't tell you what happened from there. Leah will have to tell us, you know, who won that one. I think personally France is probably the better contender because they got the good Voltaguires, they got the heavy cav with the splash. But then again, British have rockets, so I don't know 100% who won that. You'll have to tell me yourselves. Who do you think actually won that match? Oh yeah, definitely House of Trading Post. That is the worst, you know. Basically your whole game going because of a simple out of sync situation. Yeah. Yep. So I guess that's the last match for now that Stefan is dreaming about his next chess tournament. They'll happen at a much later date now. You know. I guess I could say see you on Thursday, but we won't be doing DE. We'll be doing Wars of Liberty. A bunch of casted Wars of Liberty games from the Wars of Liberty multiplayer Discord server. And unlike DE, we got a wider variety of them. Oh, after 30 minutes, Stowe lost. Ah, interesting. Yeah. So British were able to come on top there. That's pretty interesting, for sure. Yeah, I was wondering like if British or the French were going to win that one, but it looks like British have what it took to overpower them. See you next week. Nope, we're going to be playing on this Thursday. For the DE, yeah. We'll be playing DE, doing the DE casted games on Tuesday of next week, I think. This Thursday we're doing Wars of Liberty, so hopefully lots of World War I tanks, planes, and dreadnoughts, mustard gas and war crimes, all that sorts of fun stuff, you know. And even if not, lots of fun, unique civs. Side mortars and swarm, P-tards were needed. Well, we know HV&I P-tards are always the solution of just about every situation. We'll check out Wars of Liberty as well. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting one, I think, since Aliyah really doesn't. I mean, StefanMitrovici basically hasn't. I don't know if he's played Wars of Liberty before, but he hasn't really played it recently, I don't think. So, I mean, I feel like he's probably going to really like it because there's a lot of new civs for him to learn, lots of cultures that work really differently. You know, Africa plays very special, Latin Americans play very special. The World War I age is certainly a pretty interesting thing, as well as some of the cool natives on the maps and different maps there are. Because the cool thing about some of these recorded games is, the ones I've already casted and have sent in my back reserve to publish, is they're played on some of the more unique maps. I've had one on Great Zimbabwe, I've had one on some of the maps that have special features on them, so it'll be fun just going over how those special maps work. Like the Great Enclosure on Great Zimbabwe that trickles coin. Yeah, and then hopefully somebody does a game on the moon as well, since the moon is a map on Wars of Liberty. It's actually literally the moon. Now it has a light side, a dark side, craters, unicorns with rainbows, Batmen, men that have bats' wings, that is. Oh no, they're man-bats, actually. They're man-bats. And then you got pieces of rocket equipment everywhere, and all your units wear little astronaut helmets to not lose air and stop breathing when they're on the moon, so it's very realistic in that sense. So yeah, hopefully see everyone there. I'm signing off now from this stream. See you on Thursday with Wars of Liberty, or if you don't like Wars of Liberty, which I highly recommend you like Wars of Liberty, see you on Tuesday of next week. Yeah.